Management and Social Networking Websites, A Look at the Ethical Issues Involved, by Thomas Dunbabin. Who are you? Perhaps one of the most difficult questions to answer appropriately, considering the many facets of your life. Without context, this question can be answered in many different ways. But when given a constraint like, who are you at work, the answer becomes a little bit easier. You may describe yourself as hardworking, multitasker, punctual, nose to the grindstone, 18-hour days to get the job done. But who are you when you're not at work? What about when you're hanging out with your friends on the weekend? Laid back, a beach bum maybe, cocktail expert, always ready to pick up the bar tab if a friend forgets their wallet? The truth for most people is that they are a little bit of both. At work, we are hard workers, focused on getting the job done in the most efficient manner, but when it's time to cut loose, we can be completely different people. Most people probably do not act the same way at work as they do at a bar with their friends. There is nothing wrong or unethical about this, and most people can easily separate work life from personal life. After a solid weekend of hanging out with friends, what is one thing that a lot of us do the following week? We post pictures and video on the internet recounting some things that a few of us may have forgotten. With the advent of networking websites like Facebook, MySpace, and LinkedIn, and video sharing sites like YouTube and LiveLeak, our personal and private lives are now becoming public information. That embarrassing picture of you at happy hour Friday night is no longer just shared among your friends. Now it's out there on the World Wide Web for everyone to see. At first, this doesn't seem like a real big issue. But what if your boss sees it? While you may be able to separate who you are Saturday night from who you are Monday morning, your boss might not be able to. Or let's say you have an interview for your dream job on Monday morning. Say all the right things, and your potential new boss appears to really be taking a liking to you. Interview wraps up, you part ways on good terms, almost certain you'll get an offer by Friday. Later that day, the interviewer has a little downtime and decides to Google your name just for the fun of it. Do you know what they're going to find? Will it be that research project that got you published? Or will it be that picture from Saturday night? With these networking websites, it is easier for employers to find personal details about employees that may not have come up in interviews or on resumes. Sites like MySpace and Facebook allow you to list such personal information that may not be pertinent to your job performance. The information a person lists on a social networking site is not standard criteria that will be discussed in a job interview. With networking websites being public forums, there is no regulation on who can join and view your information. And since the information you post on your personalized networking page is not relevant to your job function, the use of this information against you as an employee is a form of job discrimination. So now the question is, can my personal information on a social networking website be used against me? And the answer, unfortunately, is yes. In June of 2006, Marion County Sheriff stumbled upon a MySpace page of one of their own employees. 26-year-old Officer Brian Quinn, much like most young people, had created a page on a social networking site talking about his personal interests. For Quinn, these included swimming naked, drinking heavily, and drinking often. There were also pictures of him in uniform and blogs about putting people in jail. The page was sent to Quinn's superiors, and he was fired. Even though Quinn's networking site did not cause him to perform poorly at work, he was still terminated because the sheriff's department did not agree with his personal life. So take a moment to search for yourself online, or open up your Facebook or MySpace pages and think about what you see. Now, considering your internet persona, let's answer the original question. Who are you? Or rather, who do you appear to be? Because this is what your boss might be thinking when he or she stumbles upon your MySpace or Facebook page. Even though it is unethical for an employer to use this personal information against an employee, it can still happen. So now you're probably asking yourself, what if my boss does look me up? What if they do judge me on what they find? What if I don't get that dream job I interviewed for? Well, there are some precautionary measures that you can take. 1. don't use your real name when setting up a MySpace or Facebook account. You can change your last name so that if someone searches for you, they won't find you. Downside is that it may be tough for real friends to look you up, but is it really worth losing a job over? 2. Use a different email address. We all hate getting junk mail from these sites, so this benefits you twofold. Your boss won't be able to search networking sites with your email, and all of your notices from these sites will not clog up your primary email address. And finally, if you're going in for an interview, change your Facebook or MySpace page the night before. Take down all those pictures of you having too much fun with your friends at the local dive bar and replace them with something like pictures of you and your mom, or pictures from graduation, or something else that sends a positive, wholesome message. Even though your friends will make fun of you, you only have to leave it up until you get the job. So remember, even though it is unethical for an employer to judge you on how you spend your free time, it is possible that how people perceive you based on your Facebook site may affect whether or not you have a job come Monday morning.